Steve is special in the sense that the vision that I have, the commitment that Steve and friends make, we're going to make it happen for you.
Mr. President, can I ask you a question? Sure. Because you've been asking me questions. Because I got a talk show, so I know how to ask a couple of questions. So I just wanted to know, when I first met you and you told me this vision that you had for your country and the vision you had for all these young people in Botswana, I was kind of, I was thrown off with it. I just kind of always wanted to ask you why. Because a lot of people in the United States, when they get in a position of power, it's so they can pad their pockets. They cut deals. That's just how it's done over there. Them people, they rich. And we don't even hear no talk about we gonna fix the country. We ain't talking about that. They talk about doing election time, and you hear that for 2 weeks, and then you don't hear no more. Why did you decide to make these young people such an important part of what you wanted to do? Because that's just not really how it's done. I'm just being real.
Well, for me, it's pretty plain. First, Botswana is a young country. It's young. We gained our independence only in 1966. America is a few hundred years old, I'm told. And we've been underdeveloped to the extent that almost everything you see around is what we did ourselves. But when you travel to other countries that are a little older and have many more people in terms of population, stronger economies, you see just how far they've gone. We want this success in our lifetime. We must get it in our lifetime. These young people are the best investment this country ever made. I know we have diamonds, but the challenge for me and those in government is to transform every young person into a diamond, because there will be diamonds forever. And that needs skill. We need to broaden our economy. We need to trade with the rest of the world in order for us to reach a stage of our income status. We don't have time to waste. If I cut a deal with you, it's just one citizen in the country who benefits. But I'm a leader, and all these people look up to me to provide the opportunity for them. So rather than cut a deal with you, I want to cut a deal with them. So we all get a bit. And if all they do is grow it, we'll make much more money as an economy than when the two of us cut a deal. So there's no deal I'm cutting with anybody except with the people of Botswana, particularly the young ones. The final reason is that young people in Botswana make more than 60% of the population. They're fine people. They can fit anywhere in the world. Just give them some opportunity. Teach them how to vision mix. Teach them how to make pops and adverts. Teach them how to speak the lingo of the first world. And I bet you they're going to give many people a run for their money. So we're going to turn Botswana into a mega multimedia country.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
So that's what's in it for me. And besides, if ever you are looking for the fountain of the youth, come to Botswana. So I guess my wife and I will be young when we finish doing the job we do and we're clicking our heels.
See, it's like, if you say that, which I can really identify with, and the people I bought can, you don't even understand, y'all, what this could be. See, when you start a TV show, one TV show, you got to have grips. That's people who just hold the cable. Do you know that that's a job? It's called a grip. They hold the cables, so when the cameras move, they can move freely. He just hold the cable. You ain't got to go to school for that. Here, man, hold the cable. It's called a grip. That's a job. Somebody got to clean. Them props you see, the background, what you're missing is changing the background. It's just plywood, paint, and lights. And it looks like curtains, and it looks like crystal, but it ain't. It's 3D imagery. It's all kinds of stuff. That's another job. Then you got a director, that's another job. Then the mixing board, that's another job. Then the editing bay, that's another job. Then the PAs who make sure all the celebrities have coffee. Then the catering company. It just goes on and on and on. One show produces 100 jobs. You bring 2 shows, that's 200 jobs. You get 5 shows in here, you got a lot of people at work, man. And when people at work, your life changes. Y'all got it, man. Y'all so dope. Y'all don't even know this facility over here. Y'all sitting on the gold mine, man. If I had that facility, oof, man. I wish if that building belonged to me, let me tell you something. Man, I produce shows. So, I didn't tell you this, Mr. President, but I was talking with Valdez. If you all can get it together, your government, however it works, that's none of my business. I'm not a politician. I don't like meetings.
He's a good listener, a very good listener. And all I ever wanted to do, Steve, was to, check you out and find out if you really meant what we talked about. So, pardon me for being so transparent, but I wanted you to help me realize the dreams I had for my country and people in the space in which you are a specialist and you have expertise. I also would like you to use some of your money to demonstrate that it can be done. I'd like you to also talk to your friends and colleagues, professional and otherwise, in the US, to tell them about Botswana first, tell them what we are like, and that we want them also to come here and not just visit, but hopefully use some of their money to invest here. I've had this dream of wanting to change our economy from a resource-based economy to a knowledge-based economy. And a lot of the stuff that you deal with are really in the knowledge-based economy space. You create content. You create digital content. You run events. You're very connected. And you're connected to the right people. Please help share with this audience the specific skills in the opportunity spaces that you could participate in.
Well, one of the things that happened was they set up a tour for me on yesterday to tour BTV and the radio station. Pat sent me some pictures, and I'm telling you, it did not come close to what my staff saw, my team. See, we produce TV shows. We produce content. That's a big business in the United States. You can become very, very wealthy at that. What we saw at BET, and first of all, when he said, I want you to tell me what the possibilities are. So I took my wife, I bought my children, and I bought Valdez Flagg, who does the Oscars, the Emmys, the BET Awards, he's the biggest producer on the planet, and he's African American. So I bought him, and we walked the studios. It astonished me what I saw. And you do not know what you have. First of all, let me tell you this. BTV Studios, no black person, no African American in all of the United States has that. Oprah has OWN, but it's not even this size. What you have over here, it just blew our mind, because we were walking going, this is here? You're doing news? The first thing that impressed us was the work ethic of the people at the station. There is a woman, Valdez, what is the title she had?
Director and vision.
She was the vision mixer and director. That's 2 jobs. This one African woman was doing the job of 2 people. And let me tell you something. There has never been an African American in the United States with that job. We've never seen a woman in that room in 35 years of television. A black woman was running the visual tech and that's a job for 2 people. This sister was sitting there working this thing, and it was clicking. That's unheard of in the States. So your work ethic is outstanding. Your lighting is beautiful. We couldn't say nothing about your lighting on TV because you all like black people. See, when I go on the show, and I'm on the show with Chris Tucker darker than me, the white show got to start making adjustments because they done lit the show for white people. Now, when me and little dark Chris show up, they got to start fixing lights. Your lighting was perfect. Only thing missing at BTV is content. You have so much usable space. Content. And that's what I saw, Mr. President, when I saw the studio that seats over 200 people. Do you know that on Family Feud, you know the audience is only 150 people? But the way we shoot it in LA, it looks like hundreds. It's only 150 people. Your studio here is bigger than the Family Feud studio. What you could do in there, do you know the TV shows that could come out of there? You have any idea? But you need content. And where do you get content? From young people. And this is the vision of this president, which tripped me out because he keeps talking about elevating young people. So that's how I'm at this university. That right there, Mr. President, was so long. You have an outdoor amphitheater sitting there. You have that theater. You have 6 radio booths that can be doing 6 different things. You have recording studios. You have performance bands, and they're all sitting there. So all we did yesterday and all last night was me and my team sat and said, okay, what can we do? With your permission, we bring in private sector money. We bring in private sector money, and we start producing television in Botswana to go over the continent. That's a lot of jobs. That's a lot of jobs.
Mokgweetsi! But you know, one of the things that I've had to admit is that much as we've been through school and some have traveled outside the country and seen, studied, we need some of the best in the world to come and show us how they became the best. So the challenge I put out to Steve and friends is to come and help us do this. What'd you say, Steve?
We're gonna do it. And we bring Valdez. He brings in, see, listen, in America, we have to stand in line for jobs. Entertainment is a treacherous business, and it's very competitive. And of course, there are not a lot of roles for African Americans, so we have to create our own shows. But even when we create the shows, we got to get greenlit by a studio and a network to put it on TV. So it's a lot of very talented African Americans who are directors and tech people who are in line. They get enough work to live, but they really in line. So we made some phone calls, Valdez and I, and we got 3 top directors. We started talking to some tech people, and we got to figure out the way, if we bring the biggest and brightest African American minds in television over here, because you have to be taught. This is not disrespect to you. You don't know if you've never been taught how to light. You take your morning show, for example. It's a 2-hour morning show, and it's this orange sofa, and this is the shot. Well, in Hollywood, we're gonna take that news desk, and we're gonna put it on wheels, and we're gonna push it over a little bit. So we're gonna go from the orange set to a blue set. Then we're gonna move the orange set on wheels and go back to a red set. Then we're gonna take the blue set and move it out the way and come back over to a yellow set. You know what they call that? They call that Hollywood dust. You just need to be taught how to sprinkle the dust. Look, you got the talent. Look at this room full of talent. And talent don't necessarily mean in front of the camera. You got to be behind the cameras. The most money made in Hollywood ain't in front. It's in back of the camera. The directors and the writers, they're making the most money. You think actors make a lot of money? You ought to see what the studios are. That's what we can do. We can bring those people to teach. Now, that's up to y'all how y'all want to do that. You know, you gotta, that's the government. That's the government right there. Yes. See, I'm not a politician, so I don't know. Listen, y'all have to have some meetings and work it out so we can bring them. But the private sector money will produce the shows and pay everybody to come to work. And I think that's the best way to start over here. And that's something that can be done. If you find a way to make a couple of upgrades, fix the rafters to hang heavy lights. See, you gotta hang heavy lights. If you knock that back wall out in the studio, if you go back just 20 feet, if you take them 2 side walls and just take them off, it's just plywood and sheetrock and framing. If you take it off and you go back 20 feet and you hang in the right lights and you bring in them big boys, you can start taping shows in Botswana this year. I have 2 shows that I can create. I already have it. You can do it this year. I bring the people in here to produce the shows. The jobs can start now. But that's up to you. But see, you gotta, look, man, it's kind of like the wheel that's in Hollywood, sir. You know, I go to a meeting, like I got 2 shows that's greenlit in the United States right now. It's greenlit, meaning they've signed off, it's a go. But then they told me, well, Steve, not this year, we'll do it next season. Give me my show back. come over here and produce it? Why I got to get in line? We can do that. Y'all got a gold mine. You just have to decide amongst yourselves how much you're gonna spend to knock them walls out. I'm not knocking the wall out. I'll pay the production. I can't knock a wall out. It ain't my building. Now, you knock these walls out, you get a fund together, you bring these people that can train your students, your young people for 2 years. Make a commitment to them, and then they leave. You'll learn this job in 2 years. We can teach you how to hold a cable in about 15 minutes. That's not a big job. But we're gonna give you a check. And the rest of it, in 2 years, you ain't gotta go to school. Listen to me, man, it's so fake. You learn how to be a cameraman by being a cameraman. You can either look through the camera and see it, or you can't. They can't teach you how to see. And that's what we could do with the right movement and the right people who know how to get things done. And we will come and we can start now. And that's your vision for well, Botswana should be what? We should turn this into Hollywood. You better shut up, Steve Harvey. You better shut up sitting up in here imagining stuff in front of me.
Well, I can just promise you, Mr. Harvey, that we will consider the proposals you have, along with your friends, to start the journey of getting our people engaged, taught, so they can run their own businesses in that space.
Africa, the only children's content I've been watching on TV is Disney, Nickelodeon. You don't see African kids on TV. That don't make no sense. They're not your kids. Your kids don't look like that. You should see your children on TV with content for them to learn from each other. You all know more than anybody else. Because everybody knows, if I say we're going to go and do some business, we're going to go. So I asked him to come and meet you all. Because his vision is he has a plant in Los Angeles. His vision, because he's been doing the research, you all have all the herbs growing on your continent. There is no herb that doesn't grow in Africa. So he's been researching it. He said, why don't I come open a plant in Africa? I said, no, it has to be Botswana. We can't go nowhere else. So that's A.D. Dolphin, and that's his mission, is to come here to open up that plant. And then what's really important to the president's vision is Valdez's flag. Now, Valdez, I'm gonna just ask you to come up. Yeah, I know you don't want to.
Come on, don't be shy.
The president said you had to come up. So I don't know how we gonna do it. So, I know this ain't what you do. This is strictly a behind the scenes man. When I tell you, he does all the shows. Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, BET Awards, 3 presidential inaugurations. They called him to produce Michael Jackson's funeral. Come on now. I want you to just, from your own eyes, what did you see when we toured BTV, and what were your thoughts?
So first of all, thank you for welcoming me here and bringing me here. I didn't know what I was going to see when I first started touring BTV. It was much more than I expected. Everyone is saying that you're sitting on a gold mine. You are, because the possibilities of what is there and what can be done there. It's not just a television studio. You call it a television studio. I call it an entertainment complex. You have television studio, you have recording you could do CDs in there, recording studios, you have radio station, So it's a multimedia complex that is virtually unrealized in its potential. So the amount of jobs and the amount of shows, you can actually do almost anything under the umbrella of what's there. If you start now, or if we start now, and begin developing, I also think that personal economic freedom comes from information. You know, once you know the information, you're not dependent on anyone else to give it to you. So once the technicians there are brought up to speed, once we make the changes and start producing shows, it will evolve as quickly as anyone's vision or imagination wants to take it. It will provide jobs, but more than anything else, all of the young people, they're looking to you for content, they're looking to you for your imaginations. In your imagination and in your content, you will have freedom. I don't know about you, but freedom sounds good to me. What I saw, I think the First Lady asked me what the possibilities were from 1 to 10 of the BTV. I'm saying BET too. I thought about it for a moment because I'm real straightforward in my talk. I don't exaggerate. And I looked at her and I said, a 9. From 1 to 10, you have the possibility of a 9 sitting in your city. So why not realize the possibilities that are there? With the, I'm not gonna say they're minor adjustments. I think they're simple but not easy to make. You can make the adjustments and then we bring people to educate and upgrade everything. And once it's upgraded, I'm telling you, your imagination will take it as far as you want. You can re-educate, you can have, who said educating, have your own kids' programs with your children's faces on TV, not what Disney gives you or Pixar or whoever. And realize your dreams. Your dreams are what's important. Vision, you know how many leaders don't have vision? I work with a lot of the, leaders of the free world, this so-called free world. And I'm not gonna say they all lack vision, but you have a leader that has vision. That's a big, big deal. And he wants to empower you to manifest your vision. Steve has given you a law of manifestation that is actually in the Bible. And I'm not here preaching religion, of course. But why not? Why not realize your best selves? Why not realize your dreams? Why not realize all these things in your city? And it's close, you're standing on it, you're sitting on it. That's the way I look at it. And I will come here and help as much as I can. I'll commit. And in Hollywood, I know Steve, and I'll stop after this. In Hollywood, I don't come from a Hollywood family, and clearly Steve does not either. They didn't give it to us. It was not given. In Hollywood, people will give you drink, they'll give you drugs, they'll give you any advice that you want, but you know what they won't give you? Information. Because information puts you on a level playing field with them, and they don't want you as a competitor. So you're in a place where you're getting information, and you're gonna have people coming here that will share information, and with that information, don't even look back. Don't even look back.
Appreciate it. That's Valdez's flag. So I thought it was important to hear from him because this man is really, he's a television producer, and that's really good. So that's our team. Of course, MZ, my man, I wouldn't even be here without him. Me and that dude go back. And that dude go back. He knew me before God changed me. So let me just say that, and we'll just leave it at that. This is being broadcast outside this building, so let's just say he knew me before y'all knew me.